Hey there, are you Hey there, are you into 3D modeling and you want to get faster, stronger, quicker? Well, buckle up because I'm about to drop some knowledge. Welcome to Digital Design. My name is Irene and today I'm going to be talking about the lazy rule, this awesome technique that will help you save time and effort when modeling. Now, before we begin talking about the lazy rule, we have to talk a little bit about 3D modeling. Now, majority of people, when you say 3D modeling, what they usually think about is either the photorealistic renderings that you see on banners for construction development, or they think about this awesome CGI that you see in movies, or they think about video games. And although yes, these are 3D models, this is not the full story. Truth is that 3D modeling is an amazing tool that extends to a massive variety of professional fields and has a equally massive variety of purposes. Now, why is it important to talk about this? Because on one side, the formerly mentioned, aka because the 3D models that are for the formerly mentioned construction banners, CGI movies, or video games, in these cases the 3D model is the product that the client is paying you for. While in the other cases, all the other professional fields, 3D modeling is a tool. This means that it's another element that you're gonna use in order to help you sell the design. Your design is the product that the client is buying, and therefore you cannot afford to invest an equal amount of time and effort. Now to the lazy rule. Spoiler alerts, if you were expecting the lazy rule, no. Spoiler alerts, if you were expecting it to be all about a magic hack that you introduce and then the model gets done by itself while you go eat out, I'm sorry to inform you that's not how it works. The lazy rule is all about efficiency. It's all about minimizing the input of time and effort to maximize the result. An important aspect to mention about the lazy rule is that it's very versatile. It adapts to a variety of professions, so it doesn't matter if you're an engineer, an urban planner, architect, interior designer, carpenter, if you work in the movie industry, or if you're just a housewife that wants to, see how your kitchen will be before you go out and eat and buy it, not eat it, buy the kitchen. And it's also multi-platform. So this means that you can apply the lazy rule regardless if you use 3D Max or SketchUp or Blender, Rhino, Minecraft, you name it, you can adapt it. The lazy rule is divided in two rules, laws, thingies, parts. The lazy rule is divided in two parts. Part number one, outsource when possible. This part is all about putting your efforts in the key elements that are your design. Anything else can be found somewhere else. Now, these can apply in different ways, and keep in mind, this is supposed to apply for multiple professions, multiple platforms, and it can even vary from project to project. So these can apply on not modeling things that are not a part of your design, not modeling things that are just accessories, or not modeling things that are standardized. So I'm going to give a couple of examples. Imagine that you're an engineer who has designed a bridge and you modeled it. And you want to put lampposts and cars to help give a scale, to help the client understand that it's not a pedestrian bridge, it's a bridge for cars. You should not spend the time modeling the cars and the lampposts because they're not actually a part of your design. You can find them somewhere else, just plop them in and be done with it. If you're an interior designer, yes, the furniture is a part of your design, but that doesn't mean that you're designing the furniture itself unless it's custom. In most cases, the furniture is being outsourced from another company or from another place, and therefore are pieces that you can probably find either at the company's library or in 3D model libraries. Another example, imagine that you're an architect and you're designing a house. Yes, the doors and windows are your choice of design, their location and their look, but the truth is that these pieces are standardized elements, and therefore you can probably find them already modeled and with a lot more detail than you could probably do with your time frame. So why would you spend the time modeling them? Side note, it's important to understand that this rule is not about plagiarism, stealing. This rule is not about stealing. The intention of this rule is not for you to just go into somebody else's model and take everything they have and put it under your name. This is about being able to use the already existing infrastructure of thousands of libraries with thousands of models or textures or anything else and use them in your advantage to save time. In other words, stealing, not cool. Are we cool? We cool. Part 2. Focus on your design. This one is about limiting yourself to model the things that are required to sell your design. And it can be divided in 2 parts, camera and level of detail. First, the camera. So it doesn't matter if you're doing a video or just one picture, you're just gonna limit yourself to model the things that will enter the lens of whatever your camera or picture is going to be seen. A good way to help you understand this is when you go to a theater play and you see the background that they have set. This background can be very simple or very elaborate, but whatever is happening in the front. If you go to the back, you're gonna see that it's all like cardboard and planks because nobody's seeing that, and therefore it doesn't matter. This part is the same. You do not want to waste time modeling things that are not relevant to what you're showing. For example, if you're an architect and you are modeling a facade to show to the client, you only need to model the facade, kind of like a cake. You only care about the outside. You don't need to model anything that is happening on the inside since you're not going to be able to see it. If you're an interior designer and you are modeling a kitchen, you do not care about what's happening on the living room. You do not care about what's happening on the second floor. You focus your efforts on just modeling that kitchen. On the other side, if you are a carpenter and you are modeling those kitchen cabinets, then it's in your interest to go into the detail of what's happening behind the doors and drawers. How many shelves? Do you have any systems? The other aspect is the detail. This means how much you're gonna develop that model to satisfy the needs of your design. If you're an engineer and you're designing a specific engine or motor piece to be 3D printed, you need to input as much detail as possible because however you modeled it, that way it's going to be printed. Another example, if you're a furniture designer, maybe you are doing this 3D model to send it directly to a factory for production. So your 3D model needs to show absolutely all the detail of how the pieces interlock together and function. Finally, if you are a product designer, if you're designing what's the look, what's the exterior appearance of these objects, you only need to focus on the details of the outside, but you don't care about how things work on the inside, or maybe you do. I don't know about product design. Bonus! Another good side of the lazy rule is that by limiting what you're designing and the accessories and the pieces and the views, you're gonna keep your files light. And if you have any experience 3D modeling, you're gonna soon become familiarized with the importance of keeping your files light for optimal performance purposes. So to summarize, the lazy rule is all about efficiency. It's all about before you go into 3D modeling, you stop and plan. What is it that you need to show? What is it that you want to show? And afterwards, you start modeling towards that objective. It's very versatile. It doesn't matter the professional field. It doesn't matter the platform that you're using. You can even apply it like probably for like Photoshop or something. I don't know. I can see possibilities for it. Anyway, that's it for now. I will be going into further detail of these two parts of the lazy rule in future episodes sometime, I promise. Yes. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them on the section below. And if you like what you saw and you find that helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. It would help me a lot. Until next time, bye!